In today's video, I'm doing something different. I'm going to approach or get in touch with women from the start to the end, and I'm going to show you the steps that I've taken to achieve it. And guess what? It's not like I'm a pro, but I will use the advantage of the internet, more specifically YouTube, the dating coaches. We have several online gurus, dating gurus on the app. So I'm going to use their advice, and I will be showing you the steps from the start to the end until I get a positive outcome or my desired outcome from it, finding love. I hope you will enjoy it. From a ton of individuals that I would have learned the techniques from, I found this one called Austin Dunham, bro. And this is the guy we are going to use his steps. And I'm going to stick on the dating apps because currently I don't have a cameraman who will have assisted me to do this in real life. Also because of limitation of time, using the dating app is going to be easier. I'm going to document everything for you guys, so don't worry. This first episode, we are going to view this guy's tip on how to text a woman. And then in the next episode, I'm going to create an account on a dating app, and then try to use his tips so that we may see or we might know if his tips will work for sure. So let's get into the video. And I already have my notebook here. I will be noting down the major points so that I will be referring them or they will be my reference while I'm texting girls, which I will be also sharing with you while I do so.
After working with tons of men, I realized that there's one common trend that a lot of men need help with, and that is texting. Now, me being the digital Romeo, I realized I've never done a text.
You will ask why I chose this video. You see, this video is titled How to Text a Woman, and because I'm going straight to dating apps instead of meeting the girls in field or in real life, it will just be like a texting game, not like a verbal communication.
Video. So in this video, I'm going to explain the rules of texting that every single man needs to follow. Let's go ahead and get started. So when it comes to texting a woman, there are 3 phases of the dating process that your texts are going to kind of fall into. And you got to keep in mind these 3 phases whenever we're talking about it. So number 1, you have pre-meetup texting. 2, you have texting whenever the meetup is arranged. And number 3, you have post-meetup texting.
Okay, so the first one you said is pre-meetup texting.
All this will fall basically in line with the dates number 1 through dates number 3 or even number 4. Up first, let's start with the pre-meetup. Now, this is primarily going to start on dating apps, social media. You might have gotten the girl's number. And this, in my experience, is the most frustrating part of texting. A lot of guys don't know how to text women within this part. You might get left on red, you might get ghosted, you might have to double text here or there. Let's go ahead and get into the rules you should follow.
Bro, to be honest, if I got a girl's number and then we are on the texting phase, when I text her, I expect her to reply back. You feel me? So you might not know what you've done. Sometimes a girl might not reply back. So for me, if it's not essential or it's not a must for me to reply, I will not, and I will never double text a girl. But if, let's say, that girl is a homie or a friend of mine whom I knew before without the intention of escalating or turning the relationship into a romantic relationship or intimacy, I don't bother to text her because just a friend. But if again she takes that kindness for my weakness, I'll stop double texting and all those texting stuff.
Number 1, do not lead with validation in the pre-meetup text phase. So what I mean by this is simply letting the girl know how beautiful she is, how attracted you are towards her, heart eyes, emojis, you're so hot, beautiful, gorgeous, etc. Guys, we've seen it time and time again. Women do not respect validation. That is why it is told not to give it. Because when you do give it, especially when you lead with it, you are immediately categorized in the box of this guy is just like every other guy, pedestalizing my beauty. Bam, I'm so used to that. Why would I even take this guy seriously? Because, she hears it and gets it literally every single day, multiple times a day. So with that being said, never lead with validation. If you're red pill aware to any degree, you should probably already know this by now. However, if you're the average Joe, now you know. Up next, you want to
Bro, he's trying to say that you should not lead your text game, or whenever you text the girl you want to talk with her, you should not bring validation to her. So I thought it was the other way around. I don't know, because let's say you are interested in a woman or in a girl. So I thought that if you will meet her the first time meeting her, or whenever you meet her, you should maybe give compliments or something of that sort. But he has come up with something different or opposite to what I was thinking about.
text her back slowly, but move quickly. All right, it's kind of going against each other, but let me explain more. So within this dating process, I have something called a dating funnel. I teach it to my Digital Romeo students. And if you guys want to check out the free dating funnel ebook, go
As I was telling you, even if we are dummies, bro, you will always find people trying to teach you what you don't know. You can hear this guy is saying that he already has a course online. So it means that he knows what he's doing. And I feel like already I'm not wasting my time. I'm watching a guy who knows the principles in the dating field.
ahead and click down below this video. That's what I'm referencing right here. And when I say you want to text her back slow, that means the priority. So a woman who is in the pre-meetup phase doesn't have a big priority for us to text back fast. Meaning you should not be texting back every 5, 10, 20 seconds, 1 minute, even if she's doing it back. Take your time to text back slowly. And when I say slowly, I also don't mean all day. I'm just saying just at least an hour, 2 hours max, probably around the 3-hour mark. Or if you're genuinely busy, just text her back whenever you have the time. You wanna make women earn that sense of priority as they move down the funnel into actually meeting you. Women who haven't established that they actually like you or are able to meet you, I wouldn't prioritize texting them as quickly as possible. But like I said, you need to move quickly through the funnel. And what I mean by that is you don't want to just spend all your time texting her on the dating app, texting her on social media, texting her through text and not setting up something. You need to move quickly and set up a date as soon as you can once that comfort is built. And I found that usually between 5 to even max 15 messages, that comfort and attraction can be built to a degree to where she'll be willing and able to go out on a date with you. And if she's not, then that's when you disqualify her as a time waster and or an attention seeker. Speaking
Bro, that's tough, bro. This guy even knows the number of texts you should text a girl, the number of maximum texts or the limit of texts you should send to a girl before escalating to a date. I'm surprised, bro.
of that, the next rule you need to follow is to protect your attention within this phase, because as I mentioned just now, you're going to deal with a lot of attention seekers, a lot of women who might not genuinely be interested in you, but will like texting you. So that's why, number one, we put the priority low. And then also we need to move quickly. But like I said, you need to protect your time and attention by filtering out those low interest women. Now,
That's for sure, bro. I can relate to that, because many a times you text some girls, you try to tell her, let's link up, and then you notice they were only there for your attention. They were only there for the jokes you are giving, or they are only there for the entertainment part of you. And wherever you try to change the situation into a serious relationship, you feel me? They start flaking now, they don't want to talk to you. That tells you, or that told me, they were there for attention from the beginning, bro.
Now moving on to the second phase, and this phase is when the meetup is arranged. And even though you set up the date, you can actually still blow it if you text the wrong way. That's why texting is so important, because even though you already got a date set, trust me, it can still go wrong. The biggest thing in this phase is that you need to maintain the mystery about yourself. A big problem that a lot of guys do is that they will continue texting even after she agreed to go out on a date with them, talking more about themselves, talking about stories and revealing a lot about themselves, and basically saying things that you would say on the date just over text over the next 2-3 days whenever the date is set. So what I like to do to combat this is just say, I'll meet you whenever the date is scheduled. Let's keep the mystery alive. I'll text you then. And then from there, some girls might be like, oh, you don't want to text me or whatever, or why can't we talk? And just say, I just want to keep the mystery alive. Trust me, it will be worth the wait, or we'll talk more in person. Always hint at, you'll learn more about me when we meet in person. After the date is set, Do not keep texting for days and days on end. Trust me, you can ruin it here. A lot more can go wrong than can go right. And if too much mystery is revealed, then that can essentially disqualify you and make a woman lose interest in you. I don't make the rules, I just report them. Another rule within
Bro, I can relate to that, but in a different way, bro. Like during high school, I used to take this history classes, and the teacher always told us, our history teacher always told us there are sections, while doing exams. Let's say section A, section B, section C. I don't remember well, but there were several sections. So there is this section, I think it's the last section, where questions carry 10 or 20, I'm not sure. Let's say 10 marks, okay? So while explaining, history involves dates and chronological orders. Our teacher always told us while encountering such a question, if you don't know the date, do not give it because it will mess you up, just ignore it. Same way, this guy is saying during the pre meetup, when you have already secured the date, you should cut off the texting, because you can mess up. It's disadvantageous compared to the advantages that you will get.
this phase is to not disqualify yourself. That's why I also say maintain the mystery, because a lot of guys, they just talk too much or they say something that can turn a woman off, and bam, she agreed to go out on the date just a few hours ago, but now she's gonna flake on you and you don't even know it yet because you just disqualified yourself by something you said in the text. If you're gonna disqualify yourself, at least do it in person. At least show up to the date and then disqualify yourself. Don't do it throughout the texting process. Are you tired of getting on dating apps and not getting the results that you want, the quality of women that you want, or maybe even the
Nah,
quantity
I think
of
at
women
this
that
point
you
he's
want?
trying to sell
You're tired
his
of getting
course.
flaked that looks or back to what you need to do here is phase number 3, and this is texting post date. What you need to do here is ideally not follow up after the date, especially don't follow up immediately after the date. So what I mean by here is, let's say you went out for drinks, the girl goes home, you text her that night, hey, just letting you know I had a good time, we should do something again. Don't do that, bro. Leave some mystery in the air, let her think. You want her to actually question to herself, did that date go well? Does this guy actually like me? And that will make her more intrigued towards you and potentially text you first after the first date. That's what I always go for, is the woman texting me after the first date. Hey, I had a great time. Hey, what are you up to? Replying to my stories, sending memes, like initiating communication to some aspect or degree. And I've dated enough women to know that if a woman does not initiate contact after a first date, then that is a high probable chance that she probably isn't that into you. I promise you, high interest women that you go out on dates with that actually like you will literally 95% chance text you after the first date. And if they are not doing that, then you did something wrong on the first date, or she just doesn't like you. However, if you want to play the risk of texting after the first date and you initiating contact, then what I recommend you do is at least wait between 2 and 3 days before sending another follow-up text, and then just kind of having some banter. Maybe you can go off a conversation that you had on the date and play a part of that conversation, and or just be friendly, be like, hey, what's up? How's the last few days been? And make small talk conversation.
Nah, bro, that's crazy. This guy knows the options in the dating game, bro. Like he said, post the date, you should not text. But if you are to text, you should do this or this. Hope it will help me get a woman or get a match, bro.
And then use that conversation to schedule the next date. You don't want to put yourself back in the trap of just mindlessly texting for no reason, days on end, and making her lose interest in you. Yes, you have met her one time, but you still got to play by these rules, guys. In regards to scheduling the next date, I like to do this about 4 to 7 days after the first date has already been scheduled, because another part and rule you need to follow here is that you need to maintain momentum throughout the initial dating process or the courtship. And the way you maintain momentum is by staying in communication and then seeing each other at least once a week between dates 1 through 4. If you can up the frequency, let's say she's really into you, she wants to see you 3 days after the first date, then if you got the time to do it, go ahead and set the date and see her 3-4 days after the first date. Point is, up until the time you actually have sex with her, you need to keep that momentum fast and high, keep it moving. Remember the dating funnel, speed? Speed is super important in the new dating courtship. Those were some of the rules I follow in pre-meetup, meetup arrange, and also post-meetup in the early dating phases. Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know what rules you might follow too down below in the comments. Subscribe, like, and watch this video next. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Okay, boys, that's the end of the video. And as you can see, we have been given some tips here. As he has said, he had categorized the video in 3 sections. The first one is pre-meetup, the meetup section, and the post-meetup section. And then at the final point, he gave a very important tip that you should always maintain momentum in the dating process. And that involves the speed, okay? You should always maintain the mystery. Anyway, guys, that's the first episode of Finding Love. And in the next episode, I'm going to create an account in a dating app, and we are going to see if these tips will apply. And of course, in the dating app, we will be doing the first phase, which he said is pre-meetup, and that's the texting phase.
I'm about to go big. Yeah. You know what I mean?